She moaned his name while I stood there holding the engagement ring. I hadn't even stepped fully into the room before I heard it. Zane. Her voice was breathy, soft and sweet like she used to say my name. I froze in the hallway, the tiny velvet box still clutched in my hand, its lid cracked open just enough to reveal the ring I'd spent 2 months paying off. A diamond she'd picked out. A proposal she begged for. And in front of me, in our apartment, my girlfriend Leah was tangled in the arms of the man she told me was just an ex. Zane. The name she always said with a scoff. Zane was a mistake. Zane never mattered. Her back was arched. His shirt was off. And when she finally noticed me, she didn't scream. She didn't cry. She didn't beg. She laughed. Like the sight of me shattered was entertainment. You weren't supposed to be home until 8, she said casually, pushing her hair back. So this is kinda on you. I didn't speak. My brain couldn't form words. I just stared at her, at them, like the floor had dropped beneath me. Zane grinned, leaned over, and whispered something in her ear. She giggled again, like we were teenagers caught sneaking out, not like she'd just murdered 3 years of trust in a single moment. Babe, she said, turning to me with those same soft eyes I once loved, can we talk about this later? It's kinda not the time. And that's when something inside me died. No screaming. No begging. No explanations. Just silence. And the tiniest click as I shut the ring box closed. That night, something broke in me, but something else woke up. I walked away from that apartment, from Leah, from everything I thought I knew about love. But this wasn't going to end with heartbreak. No. It was going to end with ruin. Because Leah didn't just cheat on me. She challenged me. And now, I was going to make her regret ever laughing in my face. To understand why, you need to know how we got here. I met Leah during my second year at university. She was everything I wasn't, radiant, reckless, effortlessly magnetic. I was the quiet guy with a 4.0 GPA and a part-time job at a tech startup. She was the girl who lit up every room, the one professor let slide because she had a smile that could make guilt look charming. She called me Mr. Logic when we first met. Said I had a calculator for a brain and zero risk in my soul. She found it cute, at first. And me? I was obsessed. Not just with how she looked, though, God, she was beautiful, but with how she made me feel like more than I was. Around her, I was spontaneous. Funny. Daring. Like I'd stolen someone else's life for a while and was finally living. She had scars. Figuratively. Said her last boyfriend, Zane, was a narcissistic manipulator. Cheated on her, gaslit her, even stalked her after the breakup. She called him toxic, dangerous, and pathetic. And I believed her. Hell, I hated him, sight unseen, because I'd seen what he supposedly did to her. So I made a promise, to never be like him. I bent over backward. Paid for dates when I couldn't afford groceries. Took days off work to help her through emotional spirals. Apologized when she was cold, distant, or mean, because she said she was still healing. I thought I was helping her become whole again. Turns out, I was just helping her hide what she really was. Over time, little cracks appeared. Leah was a master of manipulation, sweet in public, cruel behind closed doors. She'd make fun of my job, subtly compare me to more successful men. Zane's name popped up more often. Always in contrast, how passionate he was, how wild their fights were, how boring we had become. When I brought it up, she'd twist it. I'm just being honest. You're overreacting. Maybe you're just insecure. I started feeling like I was going crazy. But still, I stayed. Maybe because I didn't want to admit I'd wasted 3 years. Maybe because I thought I could fix her. Maybe because I thought I deserved that kind of love. Then came the accidental texts. One night, she left her phone unlocked beside me while she showered. A message popped up from someone named Z. Z, missed that mouth of yours. I stared at it. Paralyzed. My heart beat like a war drum, screaming, don't open it, don't look. But I did. And what I found made me sick. Messages spanning weeks. Photos. Plans to meet when I was at work. She called me the safe one. Him calling me the dumb backup. Jokes about how boring I was in bed. She wasn't slipping. She wasn't unsure. She was playing a long con. When I confronted her, she gaslit me so hard I doubted my own memory. Claimed it was an old conversation. We were just talking about closure. You're so paranoid, it's not what you think. And like a fool, I let it go. But that was the first time something inside me clicked. I started watching her more carefully. Noticing patterns. Watching how her stories shifted. Watching how she timed things, what she wore, how she acted when she wanted something, who she smiled at when she thought I wasn't looking. That's when I realized. Leah didn't love me. She loved control. I wasn't her boyfriend. I was her emotional punching bag, her stability blanket. The guy she paraded to her parents, while getting her real thrill behind my back. And Zane. He wasn't the ex that traumatized her. He was the one she never let go of. Their accidental reunion a month ago. Orchestrated. The flirty photos. Deliberate. The sudden push for new experiences and open communication. All groundwork for what she was about to do. But I didn't stop her. Not yet. Because I knew something she didn't. I'd been preparing my own kind of closure. I started recording conversations. Backed up every photo, every text. Planted evidence of my loyalty and her manipulation. Even befriended her best friend, Cassie, who, surprise, had stories of her own. This wasn't going to be another breakup. This was going to be a demolition. One brick at a time. And Leah? She was still smiling, thinking I was too passive, too fragile, too good to ever do anything but cry quietly and move on. She had no idea who she was about to turn into an enemy. So, how did it feel watching me kiss him? She asked, sipping wine across from me like it was a joke. It had only been 2 days since I caught her with Zane. 2 days. We hadn't broken up. She didn't move out. No apology. No tears. No shame. She treated it like a speed bump. Said we needed to talk and that she'd explain everything over dinner. She even offered to cook my favorite meal. I said yes, not because I wanted reconciliation. But because I wanted to see what her endgame was. The night felt surreal. She wore that tight black dress she usually reserved for birthdays and weddings, paired with heels and blood-red lipstick, like nothing had happened. Like we were just, back to normal. The table was set for 2. Candles lit. Music low. She poured me wine, smiled, and sat across from me like she was hosting a date. So, she said, clinking her glass against mine, are you mad? Or just shocked? I didn't speak. I wanted her to keep going. I needed her to say it. She smirked. Look, I know it looks bad. But you don't get it. Zane and I, we have history. He's not the guy I told you about. Not anymore. She swirled her wine, not even pretending to hide it anymore. You're stable, you know. Safe. But Zane. He's fire. I clenched my jaw. She noticed. Don't look at me like that, babe. You knew I wasn't the girl next door type. You knew I needed stimulation. She leaned forward, elbows on the table, eyes gleaming. But I also know you're the type to forgive. You're too soft to throw this all away. So let's just move forward. Clean slate. And then, she reached across the table to hold my hand. The same hand I'd used to hold that ring just days ago. That's when the twist came. Because this wasn't about cheating anymore. It was about manipulation. And her next move proved it. She pulled out her phone and, smiling, showed me a message thread. But not between her and Zane. Between her and Cassie. My confidant. Her best friend. The one I'd been confiding in since this whole mess began. The screen glared bright in the dim candlelight as Leah scrolled up, revealing texts between them. Cassie, he's asking a lot of questions. Leah, good. Let him think you're on his side. Cassie, he thinks I hate you now lol. Leah, perfect. Drain him. Keep him confused. I went cold. You really thought I didn't know you were planning something? Leah said, her smile razor sharp. Please. I've always been 10 steps ahead of you. She'd used Cassie as bait. A fake lifeline. A second betrayal wrapped in a shoulder to cry on. I knew the moment you started pulling away. I could smell it, she said, taking another sip. You were never good at hiding your little shifts. And Cassie? She's loyal to me. Always has been. I didn't know what was worse, the betrayal itself, or the fact that I'd poured my heart out to a woman feeding her everything I said. Cassie. The one who'd cried with me. Hugged me. Swore Leah didn't deserve me. She'd played the role flawlessly. I must have looked broken because Leah tilted her head like she was watching a pet lose a game of fetch. Don't take it personally, she said. You're not the first man who thought he could beat me. She stood up, walked over, and sat on the edge of the table next to me. Leaned in close. You're not dangerous, love. You're predictable. Then she kissed me on the cheek, the same cheek she once said felt like home. I didn't move. Didn't flinch. I was too numb. But inside, something was boiling. Because she was right about one thing. I had been predictable. The loyal guy. The one who gave second chances. The one who swallowed hurt just to keep peace. But not anymore. Because what Leah didn't know, was that I had my own recording of that dinner. A discreet little mic taped under the table. A backup phone filming through the kitchen pass-through. Every word. Every smirk. Every betrayal. And Cassie? I had already confronted her the night before. Showed her what I'd found. And she cracked. Turns out, she was loyal, but not to Leah. Not after Leah slept with her boyfriend 6 months ago. Cassie had played along, yes, but for me. And now I had everything I needed. 2 snakes. 1 plan. And a stage set for ruin. But Leah? She thought she was untouchable. You're quiet, she whispered as she walked away. Don't worry. You'll get over it. I smiled. Not because she was right. But because the next time she saw me it was quiet. It would be the calm before the storm. You're not the only one who's been pretending, Cassie whispered, and then she kissed me. It happened 3 days after Leah's dinner ambush. Cassie showed up at my place unannounced. She looked shaken, eyes puffy, voice brittle, but there was something else too. A strange urgency. We need to talk, she said, brushing past me into the apartment like she owned the place. She dropped her bag, paced once, twice, then turned. I haven't told you everything. About Leah. About me. I leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. Now's the time. And then she unloaded everything. Leah hadn't just slept with her boyfriend last year. She filmed it. Said she'd delete it. But she didn't. She kept it, as leverage. In case I ever turned against her. Cassie's voice broke. She's been blackmailing me. 4 months. I didn't even know she recorded it, until she sent me a screenshot, right after you confronted her. Said if I helped you, she'd leak it to my job. My parents. Everyone. I stared at her. Processing. Connecting dots. The overcompensation. The fake support. The weird mood swings. Cassie wasn't just a pawn. She was a prisoner. So when I fed her info, she said, eyes meeting mine, it wasn't because I wanted to. It was because I didn't have a choice. There was silence for a beat. Then, quietly, but now I've made one. She reached into her bag and pulled out a flash drive. Here. This has everything. Texts. Screenshots. Audio clips she sent me, bragging about how easy you were to manipulate. I took the drive. She stepped closer. You don't know the things she's done, Luke. The people she's ruined. You think you're one of a few? You're not. You're just the one who figured it out. I felt the heat rise in my chest. Rage. Betrayal. And now something else, this terrifying realization that I hadn't just been cheated on. I'd been selected. Groomed. Used. And Cassie, she'd been used too. So when she kissed me, part of me recoiled, instinctively. But part of me didn't. Part of me leaned into it. Not because of desire. Because of revenge. 2 ghosts of Leah's past. Now fully awake. Over the next few days, things moved fast. I dissected the files on the flash drive. They weren't just incriminating, they were damning. Leah wasn't just toxic. She was methodical. She'd used men for money, influence, and housing. She had a system. Love bomb. Isolate. Exploit. Exit, with everything she could take. Each relationship was transactional. And Zane. He was never an exception. In fact, Leah had once filed a false restraining order against him, only to take him back 6 weeks later. Why? Because his new girlfriend had a condo, and Leah wanted in. She made me cut ties with my family, one of her exes wrote in an email Cassie forwarded. Then tried to seduce my brother. Another. She told me she was pregnant. She wasn't. She wanted me to propose faster. I couldn't believe how deep it went. I wasn't just trying to get revenge anymore. I was trying to survive her. But there was something else I hadn't accounted for. Zane. He messaged me. At first, I thought it was a prank. But it was real. He'd gotten my number from Leah's phone. He said she left it unlocked when she went to shower at his place. I know what she did to you, he wrote. I know because she did it to me too. I want in. I ignored it. I didn't trust him. Still didn't. But then, 12 hours later, I got an email. No message. Just an attachment. Video. Leah. Screaming at him. Threatening him. Smashing a glass against his wall. Telling him he was nothing. Saying she'd ruin him if he ever left again. It was dated 2 weeks ago. Meaning, while she was with me. Living in my house. Wearing my hoodies. Sleeping in my bed. She was still terrorizing her ex. He sent more. Screenshots of bank transfers. Leah's name. Fake Venmo accounts. Manipulated invoices. It was too much to ignore. So I met him. Neutral place. Cafe. Daytime. He was colder in person. Worn down. Rough around the edges. But there was something in his eyes, something I recognized. He looked like me. Just further along in the decay. She's a virus, he said. She kills the version of you people loved. I didn't say anything. I'm not asking you to trust me, he said. I'm asking you to use me. You want to destroy her, right? Then let's do it together. It should have felt wrong. But it didn't. Because for the first time in months, the pain had a direction. The plan evolved. Cassie would keep playing the ally. Still act like Leah's backup. Zane would be the distraction, a rekindled lover who would publicly take her back. And me? I'd be the ghost. The quiet one. The broken ex she'd think had walked away in defeat. But behind the scenes, I was building something. I bought a burner phone. Used voice modulation software. Created an anonymous tip line. Sent Leah's past victims each a copy of her messages. Her voice notes. Her admissions. Some ignored it. But others? They replied. Within 48 hours, 5 men, strangers, were texting me. That's the same lie she told me. She emptied my account. She convinced me to cut off my daughter. She threatened to overdose if I left. I still go to therapy because of her. 5 victims. 5 stories. Same pattern. Same predator. And together, we agreed. We'd stop her. We'd end her lies. Publicly. Because Leah's favorite weapon was always silence. And now? We were going to make her loud. But right when everything was in motion, something happened that I didn't expect. Cassie went missing. 1 minute she was texting me, sending new screenshots from Leah's group chat. The next. Radio silence. No response. No read receipts. I called. Texted. Nothing. Then I got a message. From Leah. Tell me, Luke. Did you really think Cassie was still yours? She's with me now. Again. She attached a photo. Cassie. Smiling beside her. Glass of wine in hand. Like nothing had happened. Like none of it was real. Had Cassie played me too? Or was this another mind game, Leah's final wild card? I didn't know. All I knew was one thing. This wasn't just revenge anymore. It was a war. And I'd already drawn my battle lines. You think people destroy themselves? Nah. Sometimes, all it takes is handing them the match. I stared at that photo of Leah and Cassie for hours. The two of them, smiling like it was all a joke. Like this wasn't life or death for me. Like they were just playing a game. But I wasn't playing anymore. I knew one of two things had happened. Either Cassie had never been on my side. Or Leah had turned her back. Again. Either way. That made her vulnerable. Because if Cassie was still on my side, then Leah had no idea what was coming. And if Cassie had betrayed me, she just handed me the perfect excuse to go nuclear. I reactivated my socials. Posted a story with a vague quote. Sometimes you have to lose everything to see who's really there. Then I posted a carousel of photos, me, looking put together. A new haircut. Gym selfies. A brunch photo with a girl who owed me a favor. Just enough to spark curiosity. I knew Leah. Knew how she worked. She didn't love people. She loved control. And when her exes got strong again, confident again, she felt the urge to reel them back. Like bait fish swimming too far. 2 days later, she bit. Hey, saw your post. You look good. Just checking in. No hard feelings. No hard feelings. I smiled. No. All good. I'm in a better place now. She replied instantly. Wanna grab coffee? Just as friends. Hook. I said yes. We met at a neutral cafe. Broad daylight. No drama. She wore her manipulation armor, soft sweater, hair up, zero makeup. Her "I'm the victim now" aesthetic. She opened with a faux apology. I'm really sorry things got so messy. You didn't deserve that. I nodded. You're right. I didn't. She seemed surprised I didn't bite. Then she leaned forward, tilted her head, and smiled. You seem different. I am, I said. I finally understand who you really are. She blinked. A beat. I watched her reaction carefully. She was assessing. Measuring how much I knew. I didn't give her anything. Instead, I said. Let's start over. Just as people. No games. Her eyes lit up. Because she thought she won. I needed confirmation about Cassie. Whether she'd turned. Whether I'd been played. So I set the bait. Leah and I started meeting again. Small moments. Ice cream. Night walks. Conversations. I recorded every one. And in every conversation, I slipped names. Cassie. Zane. Past victims. I said things like. I still talk to Cass sometimes. She said she misses you. Zane's completely out of the picture, huh? Remember Brandon? Crazy how he just vanished. Each name was mine. And 2 days later. Cassie texted me. Why are you talking to her again? She said you brought up my name. What the hell, Luke? So that confirmed it. Cassie was still mine. And Leah had no idea. Cassie had faked everything, again, to get deeper. To keep Leah's trust. She'd even sent that fake photo. Said Leah was tipsy and forced her to pose for it. She went along to survive. But now. We had her surrounded. We rented a space. A fake podcast studio. Cheap, dim, with soundproofing and cameras built in. Cassie claimed it was a female empowerment video project about overcoming toxic relationships. Leah, naturally, wanted in. I could talk about Zane. People need to know what I went through. She said that without irony. We let her pick the outfit. Let her glam up. Let her believe she was about to go viral as a survivor. Cassie interviewed her. Softball questions. Tears. Laughs. Emotional confessions. Then came the curveball. Cassie leaned in and asked. What would you say to people who claim you're the toxic one? Leah blinked. Excuse me? Like. What if Zane told his side? Or Luke? Or Brandon? Leah shifted in her seat. Eyes narrowing. I think, when people feel emasculated, they create narratives. She gave a tight smile. I've only ever responded to people's energy. So you've never lied to someone you loved? Cassie asked, tilting her head. No, Leah said. Never. That's when I stepped into frame. She froze. Hi, Leah, I said, holding up a tablet. Mind if I play something? I hit play. Her own voice filled the room. Clips stitched together from our dinner. From past voicemails. From the flash drive. He's soft. He'll forgive anything. Cassie's playing him, relax. I just need a place to stay till Zane cools down. Her face went pale. Cassie stepped aside. Cameras rolling. Every angle covered. What is this? She hissed. It's your reckoning, I said. And it gets better. I nodded toward the door. Zane walked in. Brandon. 2 others. All of them. Together. You lied to each of us, I said. Gaslit. Stole. Manipulated. Threatened. She stood up, panic rising. This is harassment. I'm calling the police. Please do, Brandon said, pulling out a folder. We've got enough evidence to open a full case. Financial records. Text messages. Fake pregnancies. Coerced bank transfers. This isn't just about betrayal, I said. It's a fraud. Emotional abuse. And in 2 cases, criminal extortion. She screamed. Knocked over a chair. Ran for the door, only to find it locked. You locked me in here. No, I said. You locked yourself in. With your lies. We didn't release the full video. We let Cassie leak snippets. Leah, crying one moment, bragging the next. Her words, her actions. No editing needed. Just the truth. The internet did the rest. Twitter exploded. Queen of gaslight. This is sociopathy. She's playing the victim while admitting to faking pregnancies. Her influencer sponsors dropped her. A wellness brand cancelled an upcoming collaboration. One guy threatened to sue after seeing his stolen identity revealed in a leaked screenshot. Within days, her social media went dark. She posted a final message. I'm taking time to reflect and heal. Please respect my privacy. But it was too late. The comments were brutal. You mean you're hiding till the heat dies down? Girl, you're not healing, you're running. You don't get to weaponize trauma and claim victimhood. She disappeared. But I didn't. I stayed. Cassie launched the real project, Men Who Survived Her. A documentary. Not about one girl. About a pattern. Leah wasn't the only predator. She was a symptom of something larger. A month passed. Then 2. Then 3. I got a letter. No return address. Handwritten. You ruined my life. I hope you feel powerful. You're no better than me. I folded the letter. Tucked it into my drawer. Didn't reply. Because here's the truth. I am better than her. Not because I never made mistakes. But because I owned mine. Leah destroyed people for sport. I exposed her for survival. Sometimes revenge isn't a fire, I wrote in my journal. It's a mirror. I didn't go back to her. Never responded to her pity messages. Never stalked her socials. Because real revenge isn't screaming in someone's face. It's becoming the version of yourself they hoped you'd never be. Stable. Clear. And no longer their victim. She taught me how to fake love, but I taught her how it feels to be forgotten. Leah didn't just lose followers. She lost everything. Brand deals evaporated. Friends ghosted her. Even Zayn, her one remaining safety net, blocked her number the day the full audio dropped. Cassie told me Leah tried to spin the story privately. Claimed she was being framed. Edited. Gaslit. But the truth is louder when it comes from your own voice. And it wasn't just the relationships she lost, it was the control. The power. Every breadcrumb she once left to manipulate men. We turned it into a trail of evidence. There was no courtroom. No judgment. No dramatic, you're guilty. But her sentence? Isolation. And the thing about narcissists? They don't fear consequences. They fear being irrelevant. I never saw her in person again. But I did get a DM months later. A burner account. Blank profile. One sentence. Are you happy now? I didn't respond. Because I wasn't happy. I was free. The day I deleted her number, I didn't feel triumphant. I didn't feel cinematic or heroic. I felt empty. Like someone had died. And in a way, someone had. The version of me that needed her. Needed approval. Needed to be loved, even by someone who fed on weakness. That version of me was dead. What rose in its place wasn't a vengeful man. It was a man who knew better. I started therapy. Picked up weightlifting again. I traveled solo for the first time. Made real friends, ones who didn't orbit around drama. Cassie and I still talk. But we both knew it wasn't meant to become anything romantic. Too much shared trauma. Too many blurred lines. We agreed to part ways, with gratitude. Because sometimes, the ones who help you rebuild aren't the ones meant to stay. And Zane. Last I heard, he moved cities. I started dating someone new. Healthy this time. Quiet. Private. He texted me once. We survived her. That's enough. Because one night, an anonymous email landed in my inbox. No message. Just an attachment. A recording. Leah's voice. Again. But this time, she wasn't speaking to Cassie. Or Zane. Or even me. She was talking to someone new. He was easy to manipulate, she said. Just like the others. He thought exposing me would end me. But you can't end someone who's already figured out how to start over. A beat. Besides, she whispered, he has no idea what I've been planning. The file was timestamped last week. So here's the question. What happens when the villain refuses to stay buried? What happens when the predator becomes better at hiding? Because Leah didn't disappear. She evolved. New name. New look. New city. And the man she's with now? He doesn't know what she's capable of. But I do. Which means I have a choice. Walk away and let another man get devoured. Or step back into the fire, and finish what I started. If you thought this story was over, you were wrong. Because Leah's next chapter is my next target. Movie camera eyes like what you saw. Then don't miss the next part, dropping next week. Closed book. Her new boyfriend just messaged me. Begging for help. You'll find out. What Leah's doing under a new identity. How deep her manipulation game goes now. And what happens when her next victim fights back. Speech balloon. Comment below if you think I should intervene, or let him suffer like I did. Bell subscribe so you don't miss the next psychological takedown. Brain. And remember. Sometimes the worst monsters don't live under your bed. They live in your contacts list.